Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Code Realize. I had a dream. Yes, a dream. A dream about long ago. When I awoke, Father was gone. I still have Father. I must wait for him. I have no other memories, and I don't even know who or what I am. But this doesn't sadden me. He had left a note for me at the mansion. It had a number of rules written on it. Never leave this mansion. I will come back for you, I promise. Lastly, it said this. You must never break these rules, no matter what. If you do, nothing but misfortune will come, because you are a monster. But I broke those rules. That's what caused this to happen. People chased me and called me a monster. I even brought misfortune down upon those who have accepted me and tried to love me. And since then, I've kept myself shut in that room for a long, long time. Because I am a monster. Until the day I die, I must sit right there and wait for Father to return. That is what I believed. The sound of birds chirping slowly raises me from my dream into consciousness. I feel a gentle breeze blowing. I'm not in that room anymore. That comforting yet lonely cradle. It comes back to me. Lupin took me away. I open my eyes to see a field of grass stretching as far as the eye can see. Ah, you're finally awake. Why do you look so stunned? I see, it's because I'm too handsome to be believed. I get that a lot. Every time I look into the mirror, in fact. Oh my, who is this dashing young man on the other side of the glass all the time? It's not that. I suppose humor isn't your thing. Why do you look so surprised then? Don't tell me you forgot about yesterday. I woke up and you were right in my face. It was something of a shock. You were too close. You're dressed differently, too. That was a little unexpected. You look like a different person. Great! I wanted you to be surprised. You did? Why? Isn't it obvious? I needed to see some expression on your face other than sad or blank. And why is that? We're going to be in each other's company for quite some time. It's important that we get to know each other better. What do you mean? You're full of questions, aren't you? It's because, well, why don't we have something to eat first? Just a nibble. Lupin lays a cloth down over the grass and places a basket on it. This was meant to be last night's supper, so it's cold now, but anything's good if you're hungry enough. Isn't it? Lupin places a sunny-side-up egg on a piece of toast and hands it to me. What's wrong? Aren't you hungry? I haven't shared a meal with another person in a while. This is also new.
そうか。お前、ずっと一人で暮らしてたのか。
I see. You've been living alone all this time.
別に礼儀作法が必要なわけでもね。
It's just an egg on toast, for heaven's sake. There's no need for table manners, so eat up.
仕事の後の飯はうめえ。
He takes a bite of his toast, then looks over at me. He tilts his head as if noticing something for the first time.
お前、食事とか大丈夫か？ほら、毒で。
I never asked. Can you eat? After all, with the poison and everything? Yes, I can eat. I bring the toast up to my mouth and take a bite. Chew, swallow.
マジだ、すげえ。口の中は物が溶けたりしないのか？
That's good to know. Does it melt in your mouth? Sorry, I shrug. It starts to become mushy right away.
ドロドロか。
Mushy, huh? But I can taste it, and it's very good. I feel the flavor spread through my mouth.
そうかい。そんならよかった。インピーってやつが仲間にいてよ。そいつがやたら料理に凝っててな。
Well, that's good to hear. One of our group, Impy, is very much into cooking.
パン生地こねるところから始めんだ。いろいろと隠し味があるらしい。
He makes his own bread from scratch. Supposedly, he adds his own hidden flavors. After one bite, I couldn't stop. I had forgotten what it was like to eat for so long, and delicious food has a way of bringing happiness.
うまいか？
I take it you like it, buddy? Mm-hmm.
口の中を空にしてから喋れよ。
Don't talk with your mouth full. I swallow my current mouthful and ask again. How do you know my name?
そりゃわかるさ。今回の俺のターゲットは他の誰でもなくお前自身なんだ。
You were my mission. I make sure to study up on the targets of my heists. Study up? How did you find out about me?
イギリス政府の極秘資料をちょっとばかり盗み出してな。
I happened to procure some confidential materials from the British government. British government, an organization with legislative and administrative duties with the constitutional monarchy of the UK. It has little influence over the power of the monarch, Victoria. Okay. His face. Procure?
そう。俺に盗めねえもんはねえってことさ。
Well, steal if you want to be precise.
どんな情報もな。
There's nothing I can't steal. Money, jewels, or information. Why did the government have information about me in secret files? This is just one of many questions I have, but I need to know about this man. So, you're really a thief?
そこは頭に王をつけてほしいところだな。
If you're going to use that word, I must ask you to say amazing first. An amazing thief?
そう、その通り。アルセーヌ・ルパン。後世に名を轟かす予定の大泥棒にして大盗賊だ。
Exactly. Arsène Lupin, the master thief and robber supreme. I have plans for my name to go down in history. I wonder what the difference is between a thief and a robber. Isn't stealing bad?
そりゃあ、まあ、基本的にはな。だが、俺は正義の泥棒だから問題なしだ。
Well, in general, yes, but I am a thief with a heart of justice, so it's not a problem. Thief and justice seem to be a contradiction.
魅力的な男ってのはいつだって 矛盾を抱えて生きてるもんなんだぜ。
A handsome man is always riddled with some sort of contradiction, don't you know? His answer doesn't really make sense to me, but I nod and turn my attention back to my food. Definitely something I would do. Sitting here in the warm sunlight, the meal becomes entrancing. The taste of the egg with Lupin's cheery voice is somehow very soothing. Once I collect my thoughts, I take a better look at Lupin as he eats his egg on toast. I have another question.
どうしてそんなにいい男なのかって？
How am I so handsome?
この俺にも解けねえな。
That's a mystery that not even I can solve. That's the second time we've had this conversation. This man. It's amazing how much confidence he has. That's not it. Those men, the ones from yesterday, where were they trying to take me?
ちょっと待ってな。
One moment.
じゃあ、まあ一度にあんま話しても頭に入んねえだろうし、簡単にな。
Alright. It's too much to take in all at once, so I'll try to keep it simple.
まず、お前をさらおうとした連中の目的だが、奴らの狙いはホロロギウムだ。
First, those men were after the Horologium. Horologium. Interesting. Horowadium? Lupin becomes very serious.
永久機関さ。永遠に脈打つハート。永遠に膨大なエネルギーを作り出すことのできると言われる宝石。それがホロロギウムだ。
It's a source of unlimited energy, a heart that beats forever. That's what the Horologium is.
現在の科学では到底作り出すことのできないその宝石を一人の天才が作り出した。政府の機密書類にはそう書かれている。
This gem is completely impossible to create using modern technology, but the secret files said that one man succeeded.
過程も理由もわからねえが、その天才は自らの娘の体に宝石を埋め込む。
The process he used to do so is unknown, and the man buried the gem within the body of his own daughter. Damn. His daughter. You mean...
お前のことさ。
That would be you, Muddy. I don't know anything about my father. Do you know him, Lupin? I stare at him in surprise, and he looks back at me with some surprise as well.
そんなの当然じゃねえか。イギリスに住んでるやつなら、いや、世界中の人間が知ってるぜ。
Of course I do. Anyone who lives in Britain, no. Anyone who lives in the civilized world knows about him.
むしろ、なんでお前が知らねえんだよ。実の父親だろ。
What's more interesting is, why don't you know about him? He is your father. I can only remember 2 years of my life.
2年
2 years? Yes. I woke up in that mansion 2 years ago. All I knew was that I had to wait there. That father would come for me. And yet, I broke the rules that he laid down for me once in the past. Man, this person would be so messed up in the head. Like, it would be so, like... Okay, I still regret it. Lupin looks at me questioningly, and I speak up again. Even though I don't remember much, I do know some things. I read the books that were in the mansion, but...
なるほど。外の事情はよくわかってない。
I see, so
知
you
識
know...
があっても常識がねえってわけだ。
You know nothing of the outside world. You have knowledge, but no life experience. I was waiting for Father all that time. He's the only thing I have. Please, Lupin, I want to know more about my father. He looks at me for a while, then nods.
わかった。ひとまずざっくりと説明してやるよ。 どうせ知らなきゃことは進まねえんだからな。
Alright, I'll give you a brief overview. You'll need to know this to move forward.
まず
Anyway.
第一に、お前の父親はアイザック・ベックフォードって科学者だ。この名前
First of all,
聞き覚えあるか？
your father is a scientist named Isaac Beckford. Does that name sound familiar? Alright, Isaac Beckford. Who the hell could... Okay, anyway, so who could do that to their own child? I already hate this person. I mean, maybe he has like some really good reasoning, but let's find out. Let's try to find out more. Isaac Beckford, the main character's father and a scientific genius who is said to have changed the world. He suddenly disappeared one day. His current whereabouts are unknown. Alright, does that name sound familiar? I shake my head.
イギリスの、いや、世界の歴史を変えた科学者。現代のプロメテウスとも呼ばれた男でね。
He's a scientist who changed the course of history. He has been called the modern-day Prometheus. Prometheus?
ギリシャ神話で人類に火を与えた神の名さ。アイザックは現代社会にそれだけの大変革をもたらしたってことだな。
In Greek myth, he brought fire to humanity. Isaac has had that much of an impact on the revolution of modern society. Revolution of society? I think I read about that in a book. Was it called the Neo Steam Engine? Neo Steam Engine, one of Isaac's inventions, this machine pulled the United Kingdom into an unparalleled era of technological progress and military expansion.
知ってたか？
Oh, so you do know of it.
その蒸気エネルギーの保存を可能にした発明により、アイザックはイギリスを発明と軍拡の時代へといざなった。
That invention led to a massive expansion of Britain's industrial and military
英
power.
国の軍事技術顧問となったアイザックは、強力な新兵器を数々開発するとともに、飛行都市ロンドンの建設に着手するも、
Isaac became Britain's military technology advisor and developed a number of powerful new weapons, as well as Steel London. The capital city of England, this city was redesigned by the scientific genius Isaac into a massive metropolis. It is the culmination of British military and industrial might, and boasts the greatest defensive capabilities in the world.
ロンドンの完成を見ることなく、自らの地位を後任に託した後、ある日から忽然と姿を消した。
He never saw the completion of Steel London. He simply disappeared one day, after appointing a successor to his position. This all seems like a story about a faraway land and doesn't sound real. That man is really my father?
ああ、俺の入手した情報によればそうなってる。
Yes, according
何か思い出せることはないか？
to the information I was able to find, that is. Do you remember anything about him? I shake my head. Lupin seems a little disappointed, but sighs.
とにかく英国軍の連中はホロロギウムを回収するためにお前の屋敷に来た。
I
理由はまあろくなもんじゃねえようだな。
Anyway, those men from the British forces wanted to get their hands on your horologium. I doubtlessly for bad reasons.
すべての背後にあるのはアイザックの意志だ。
What's behind all of this is Isaac's will. My father's will?
そこで華麗なる泥棒紳士であるこの俺は連れて行かれるお前を横からかっさらおうと考えたわけだ。
That is when a certain dashing gentleman thief decided to snatch you away from the hands of your captors. All this information is flooding into my head and I feel a little dizzy. I must look very serious because Lupin smiles as if to lighten the mood.
まあいきなりいろいろ話しても理解できねえだろ。また機会を見て何度でも話してやるから少しずつ分かっていけばいい。
I'm sure all this is hard to wrap your head around. I'll tell you whenever you want. I'll tell you whenever you want, so just take it in little by little. Okay, I'll do that.
さて今度は俺が質問する番だぜ。
Now it's my turn to ask questions. I'll answer what I can.
ホロロギウムだが、お前の体に心臓に埋め込まれてるって話。
About the horologium. Is it true? Do you really have it inside your body? Is it your heart? I nod. It's true. There's a gem embedded into my body. I start to undo my clothing to show him.
お前何やってんだ
What are you doing? This is the horologium, isn't it? He looks surprised for a moment, but Lupin's expression turns serious as he looks at my chest. It's like a dainty tribal. I was picturing like this. It's so cute. Just looks like permanent piercings. A strange gem. It gleams from my chest like a beating heart. Glowing blue crest spreads across my chest with the gem in the center. The horologium is shaped like a flower. Beautiful blue gem embedded in the heroine's chest. Not even she knows why it is there. A large blue gem shaped like a rose spreads across my chest, piercing my skin in places. I have no idea what effect this stone has on my body, but I had to consider that the poison in my body has something to do with this gem. I don't know anything about this. Other people don't have it, only me. What is it? I want to know too.
わかった。俺の分かってることは全部話せ。それはそれとして。
Alright, I'll tell you everything I know, but before I do, I need you to do something. What's that?
お前はまず服を着ろ。
Please put your clothes back on. Why? She. Oh well, she's never been around people, so she probably doesn't care about. Why? I mean, it's hardly ladylike etiquette. Lupin turns away. Etiquette? I've read about that in the mansion's books. Etiquette is of the utmost importance on how men and women interact. I see. So having my shirt off is improper, I guess. Okay. She just doesn't give a shit. Like, I put my clothing back on and sit up. Is this better?
Nah, それでいい。
Much, thank you.
俺が紳士だったから良かったものの。
You're lucky I'm a gentleman. If I wasn't, you don't know what might have happened. I'm sorry.
いや、別に怒ってるわけじゃねえさ。
Oh, no, I'm not mad.
記憶もそうだな。常識がねえってのも不便だね。
Not having a memory is one thing, but having no common sense is quite another. Lupin inhales sharply, then turns to me with somewhat of a puzzled expression.
さっきから疑問に思ってたんだがよ。お前、なんで俺にこれから自分がどうなるか聞かねえんだ
Been wondering this whole time why you haven't asked me what's going to happen to you now. Is that something I should ask you?
そうじゃねえけど、お前、俺にさらわれてるんだぜ。普通気にならねえこれからどうなるかとかよ。
You don't have to, but I did capture you. Aren't people usually curious about what their captors plan to do with them? I think for a moment. It really doesn't matter.
割と
It doesn't matter.
なんだお前、変わってんな。
You're an odd one, mademoiselle. A thief with a heart of justice is somewhat odd, too.
確かにな。
That's true.
話が合うかもしれねえな。
Well, seeing as we are both oddities, we may get along pretty well.
ま、そういうことなら話は早い。俺の根城はロンドンにある。これからそこに行くぞ。
That makes things easier. My headquarters are in London. We'll be heading there soon. London.
飛行都市ロンドンだ。
Yes, Steel London. You mentioned that before. What is Steel London?
本気で知らねえのか
You honestly don't know?
本当に真相のお嬢様だな
You really are sheltered. I told you I never left the mansion.
いや悪い悪い別にバカにしたわけじゃねえよ
Sorry.
ロンドンってのは地名だな
I wasn't making fun of
世
you.
界にその悪名を轟かす蒸気の都市だぜ
London is a city of steam with something of an ill reputation. A city of steam? I can't imagine such a thing.
何行けばわかるさ見たことないってんならきっと驚くだろうよ
That's alright. You'll know it when you see it. If you've never been there before, you're in for a surprise. I have a question.
おう遠慮なく言ってみな
Certainly.
何でも答えてやるぜ
Ask me anything. I'll answer whatever you want. Why did you want to capture me? Are you after the horol... That's so hard to say! Are you after the horologium too?
お前がアイザックの計画を知る手がかりになると踏んだから
I thought you would be a clue to discovering Isaac's plan.
俺はアイザックを追ってる行方不明になって早数年
I'm really searching for
が
Isaac.
一般的だが
He disappeared years ago, so most would assume that he's long dead.
未だに歴史の舞台裏で何かろくでもないことを企んで
However, he's still working from the shadows, and is up to no good. I have good reason to believe this.
でその計画を阻止するために俺は動いてるってわけだ
So, my goals are to stop whatever plans he has set into motion.
奴の娘のお前なら何か知っているかもと思ったがちょっとばかり当てが外れたな
I thought that you, being his daughter, would have some more information for me. I suppose I was off the mark there. My father's plans.
だが俺の勘は鋭くてなお前はこの先間違いなくアイザックにたどり着くための鍵になるはずだ
I have no doubt that you'll be important in reaching Isaac. I have a good sense for this sort of thing.
軍の連中からかっさらう形にはなったが俺に協力してくれ
I know I ended up kidnapping you from the military, but could I have your cooperation in this matter? I'm sorry. I can't do that.
ま素直にうなずくとは思ってなかったけど理由を聞いてもいいか
I didn't think it would be as easy as that. May I ask you why you don't want to help me? What happens to me doesn't matter. But I don't want to let my father down by breaking the rules he set for me. Oh, come on! Can't you see he's just... Oh man, she's got it bad. Lupin looks at me questioningly. I was told to stay in that mansion and wait for father to return. I hurt people. That's why I need to be kept away from everyone. This poison, it hurts and kills anything it touches. That's why I must stay there. That is what my father said in his note.
ずっと孤独に生きろってそんな親の言うことなんざ聞く必要はねえよ
He commanded you to live your entire life alone. A man like that has no right to be a father. Don't you listen to him. But
それにな自分のことどうでもいいなんて言うなお前にとってお前より大切なやつなんていねえんだ
and another thing, don't ever say you don't care what happens to you. No one's more important to you than yourself. Aww.
それによお前も父親に会いたいってならこっちから探しに行けばいい
If you want to find your father, you should go looking for him. How would I do that?
そうだロンドンにはあらゆる情報が集まるあれほど人探しに向いてる場所はねえよ
London is a place of information. There's no better place to begin learning about someone than there.
大体あの屋敷にいたら今度こそ軍隊に連れてかれるぞ
If you stay in that mansion, the military will just come for you again, and they won't be easily stopped next time. Those men, they feared me and called me a monster. Lupin is much better than those men. I haven't known him for long, but I can tell.
それに ロンドンには貴族専用の高名な医者連中が山ほどいる。その
And
毒とやらもなんとかなるかもしれね
London has tons of famous doctors who treat the rich, so maybe they can do something about that poison. I didn't expect to hear that. You think they can make it go away?
え。ああ、必ずなんとかしてやる。
I'll make sure it happens. I promise.
お前の願いは叶えるって。
I promised I'd make your dream come true, remember?
だが、そのためにもお前には協力してもらうぜ。
But I'm going to need your cooperation.
俺のそばにいてもらう。それが交換条件だ。
You'll have to stay by my side for a while. That's the trade-off. Lupin extends his hand to me. I look down at my own hand, then up into his eyes. They glitter in the sunlight. Aww. What kind of choice is that, really? Who would refuse? You'd have to be. All right, let's take his hand. I nod hesitantly and take his hand.
よーし、これで契約は成立だ。
Excellent, the deal is sealed. I feel a strong grip through my gloves. When I see his smiling face, I feel a warmth in my chest, like a wind blowing into my heart.
そうと決まれば、あとはあいつを待つだけだな。
Now that we're settled, we just need to wait for him. For who?
おう、覚悟しとけよ。あいつはお前みたいな可愛い女に目がねえから。
You better watch out. He's got a weakness for cute girls like you. I'm cute? Sorry. Lupin smirks, then bows deeply.
もちろんでございますとも。お嬢様。
Of course, my lady.
ロンドンに着けば、あなたの美貌に多くの男が誘惑されることでしょう。
Once we arrive in London, your beauty will draw the attention of many a man.
甘い罠にはくれぐれもご用心ください。
You must beware those sweet temptations, mademoiselle. Sorry. Lupin's voice is both serious and formal, and I nod meekly in reply.
笑うところなんだ。
I was joking. You're supposed to laugh. I'm laughing, she's not. Oh, so good. I hear the sound of machinery from afar. Maybe those soldiers from last night have found us after all. I stiffen up. Lupin pats me lightly on the shoulder.
安心しとけ。ありゃ仲間だ。
Don't worry,
ささじゃ
he's with my
英
group.
国軍の気じゃねえけどな。
He's just about annoying as the British soldiers, though. Group? I wonder if whoever is approaching is the same person Lupin had mentioned before. Oh, snap. I turn and see the machine draw closer, spewing black smoke and roaring. I remember it from last night, a metal box on wheels, a self-propelled machine. It was called an automobile. A horseless carriage is probably the most fitting description. It's so fast. It screeches loudly and comes to a stop in front of me.
Hey, Lupin! 生きてたか?
Lupin, hey, you're alive! A man covered in soot and wearing goggles sits in a seat atop the machine.
遅くなって悪いね。愛車が言うこと聞かなくってさ。って誰だその可愛い子ちゃん。
Sorry, I'm late. My beloved car wouldn't listen to me. Wait, who's the cutie?
さてはお前、お宝盗むの諦めてナンパしてやがったな。俺にも紹介しろよこの野郎。
You decided against stealing the treasure and went to pick up girls last night. Introduce me, you bastard.
アホ。目の前にいるその可愛い子ちゃんとやらがお宝だよ。
Dolt. The cutie is the treasure. Say
何言
what?
ってんの?
The man gets up to leave his seat. Fire bursts out from the machine and a cloud of smoke surrounds us. Lupin quickly jumps in front of me to shield me with his body. When the blast subsides, I peek around Lupin to look at the newcomer.
いけねえ。またスチームエンジンがイカれちまった。
Ah, the engine's done it again.
2分待ってて。今すぐ君の王子様が素敵な出会いを演出するからね。
Wait just 2 minutes, cutie. Your prince will be right there to enact a romantic first encounter. God. But we've already had a first encounter. I love you, the man shouts in response for some reason before diving underneath his vehicle. What a nut.
やっぱこのパイプか。新品にしてえけど先立つもんがな。
I knew this pipe was the problem. I wanted to get a new one, but money's tight.
よし行くな。よしよしよし。
He's talking to his car. Alright, good girl. Good, good, good. A short time later. Done, all better. The machine releases another huge puff of smoke as he taps it with his wrench.
ごめんね。この子もじゃじゃ馬ちゃんでね。でもこれでちゃんと走れるからさ。
Sorry about that. She's an unruly one, but she's in tip-top shape once again. Lupin's face. He's like, good Jesus.
インピこれ本当にロンドンまで持つんだろうな。
Impy, is this thing really going to get us to
失
London?
礼だな。この天才技師が行けるって言ってるんだから持たないわけがねえだろう。
How rude. If this genius engineer says so, then it's gotta be true. He stands in the smoke and looks at me. His little fangs.
はっじめまして、可愛い子ちゃん。白馬に乗った君だけの王子の登場だよ。
Nice to meet you, cutie. It is I, your very own prince, astride a white horse. It's not white, nor is it a horse, but okay. He raises his goggles and smiles at me with his soot-covered face.
悪いやつじゃねえから気にすんな。
Don't mind him.
ただのへっぽこ技師だ。
He's not a bad guy. He's just a scatterbrained tinkerer.
へっぽこはひでえな。抜群の技師にして大発明家。超絶美形な気品があふれる違いのわかるいい男。
Excuse me, that's distinguished engineer and great inventor and amazingly good-looking man who knows what's
そ
what.
していつか月に降り立つ男。インピーバービケン。現在全力で彼女募集中。よろしく。
Most importantly, a man who will one day land on the moon. Impy Barbicane. Ready, willing, and available. ready, willing, and available. The moon, the Earth's only natural satellite, and Impy's ultimate goal. It glows white, blue, and sometimes even red. Impy Barbicane, a self-proclaimed genius engineer. He is actually gifted, but his actions make others think otherwise. He doesn't take things too seriously, and is a ladies' man. Gee, I never would have guessed that he was into women. Ready, willing, and available. I'm Muddy. It's nice to meet you.
うわ、なになに。よく見ると本当に可愛いじゃん。俺、ミロのヴィーナスが絵から出
Man,
て
he's
きた
such a
のかと思っ
creep.
たよ。
Now that I get a closer look at you, you're ridiculously cute. I would swear Venus de Milo escaped from a
色
painting.
のヴィーナスは彫像だろうが。相変わらずいい加減なやつだな。
That's what I was about to say. Venus de Milo is a sculpture. You can't even engineer a proper pickup line.
あ、俺のことはインピーって呼んだよね。
Just call me Impy, miss. Just call me Impy, Miss Muddy. As he's saying this, he gives me a good long stare.
よし、君は特別だ。
Oh, you are a special one.
愛のメンテナンスを大サービスしちゃうね。
Oh my god! If you desire full service love maintenance, I could provide no thanks. Thanks, but let me give you the tuna. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. I'm not sure how to deal with him. As Impy wipes his grimy face with a rag, Lupin hits him in the face with a punch.
言って、何すんだよ、ルパン。
What was that for?
ヨタ話はここまでだ。そろそろ行くぞ。軍の連中もバカじゃねえんだ。長いは無用だ。
Enough chit chat, let's get going. Those troops aren't idiots. We shouldn't stay here for too long.
へい、相変わらず肉体言語がお好きなようで、そんなんじゃレディーにモテないぜ。
Alright. You're a better speaker with your fists than usual. As usual. That's not going to get you any girls, you know. Actually, I only use my fists to speak with people at your level.
ああ、そんじゃ心配しなくてもいいか。俺レベルはなかなかいないもんな。
Oh, good. I guess I don't need to worry since there's nobody else at my level.
お前レベルはなかなかいねえよ。
Yep, you're on a level all your own. Impy is cheerful while Lupin sounds annoyed. It's almost as if they're having different conversations.
じゃあエンジンかけるぜ。
Turning the engine on. Ah! The machine roars to life and spews another cloud around us.
おお、もしかしてまた蒸気漏れ。機嫌直してエンジンちゃん。
Ah, is she leaking steam again? Come on, darling, you can do it! What can I say? There are lots of strange people in the world. After this rough start, the automobile runs smoothly for a while as we ride. As we go along, Lupin explains to Impy our situation and what has happened to us.
なるほどね。つまりはルパン、お前が彼女のヒーローみたいな立ち位置になっちゃったわけね。
So if I'm hearing you right, Lupin, then you've set yourself up as a hero to this poor soul.
いいな、羨ましい。その役、俺と変われよ。
I'm so jealous. Trade with me, man.
おい、感想それかよ。もっと他に驚くとこあっただろうがよ。
Is that all you heard from this? There was a lot more that you should have been surprised by. The conversations between Lupin and Impy always seem to go this way. I could tell that they got along quite well. From time to time, the car screeches and releases a cloud of steam. It seems that this machine runs on steam power. The books in the mansion described steam engines, and the diagrams of them always included a way to vent the waste steam. But this automobile doesn't have one. As Impy explained, the Neo steam engine, invented by my father, allows that energy to be stored without releasing it. That meant that engines could keep steam without the tedious task of constantly stoking a fire and burning coals. That's as much as I understood from Impy's description. It all seems frightfully complicated. Still, Impy's endless chatter and Lupin's arguing served to lift my spirits. We pass through fields, towns, and forests as the automobile runs on and on. Although it lets out some steam from time to time, it never breaks down again. According to Lupin, it's something of a miracle that it runs so smoothly. Impy's talk continues like a river, keeping up a stream of conversation. Lupin chimes in occasionally, but I catch him nodding off once or twice. We drove for a long time, but I was never bored during the trip. The sun is now high in the sky. We finished lunch and ride a few more hours. Lupin, who had been staring into the distance from the passenger seat, suddenly stretches. Ugh. It's coming up. What is?
この丘を越えれば気候都市ロンドンのご登場だ。
Once we climb this hill, you'll get your first glimpse of Steel London. A short while later, just as Lupin said, London appears in all its glory. Damn! The city that sprawls ahead of us is nothing short of a metropolis. It's far larger than any city the books I read spoke of. Larger than I could have imagined. It's amazing. Any words used to describe it fall short.
二重の巨大な壁と壁上にある砲塔の群れで守られる気候都市。
A city of steel. Protected not only by a great wall, but a ring of turrets. That's London.
驚いたでしょ。きっと中に入ったらもっと驚くぜ。
Isn't it fantastic, Miss Muddy? Even greater surprises await you inside.
設備は整ってるし、至るところにあるガス灯のおかげで夜でも昼間みたいに輝いてる。
As a fully functioning sewer system, and thanks to the gas lamps everywhere, it's bright as noon even in the darkest
当
night.
然の渓流島なんかも上層領域じゃ森の木みたいにいっぱい立ってんだぜ。
The high-class districts have an airship mooring posts everywhere. have airship mooring posts everywhere, sticking up from the rooftops like trees in the forest. Airship. A rigid airframe held aloft by pouches filled with lighter-than-air gas. Airships in this setting are powered by the Neos steam engine. This is London? How did such a huge city come to exist?
今の姿になったのはイギリス最高権力者ビクトリア女王の指揮あってこそだな。
Wasn't this way until quite recently. It's thanks to Her Majesty Queen Victoria that this city has grown as it has.
こんだけでかい都市を着工から5年で完成させたってんだから驚きだよな。
Don't get us wrong, it started out pretty big, but only in 5 short years it's become the massive place it is today.
どうも急ぐ必要があったんだろう。ロンドンを要塞都市として生まれ変わらせることでイギリスの強力な軍事力を誇示したかったんだ。
The Queen was probably in a rush to showcase Britain's power by transforming her capital into a massive fortified
イギリ
city.
スはヨーロッパ各国に敵対視されている。軍備充実による他国への牽制がなけりゃ今頃イギリス対ヨーロッパで戦争中だよ。
Britain has many enemies on the continent. Taking such an obvious posture like this has likely prevented war across Europe. I continue to look across the great city as I listen to Impy and
見
Lupin.
てわかる通りロンドンは壁によって2つに分かれてるんだ。
As you can see, a wall divides the city into 2
外
regions.
側のごちゃっとした町やら森やら工場やらがアウターロンドンの地域だな。
Okay, the mess of towns, forests, and factories outside is known as Outer London. The parts of the city surrounding central London, it contains an industrial district and is the most steam-filled area within the city limits.
ロンドンの蒸気エネルギー生成を一手に担う中層街や荒くれ者の多い貧困街。
Alright.
新
And
宿には金持ちたちの別荘
I
も
don't
あ
want
った
to
りする。
Midtown is where London's steam engines are produced. There are some poorer areas, and the rich have vacation homes outside.
壁を隔てた都市の中心部がセントラルロンドン。この
Beyond the
国の
wall-
政治機関が集中している場所だ。
In the center of the city is central London.
貴族たちの屋敷は大体ここだな。
That's where politicians, the rich and powerful, and nobles reside. The central part of the city where Buckingham Palace, the political center, and the noblemen's mansions are located.
で、俺たちが住んでるのはグレーターロンドンの森林部。ある貴族の屋敷に間借りしてるような状態だな。
We live in the forest area of Greater London. We're basically borrowing some space from a certain aristocrat. An aristocrat?
それは後で紹介する。ここでインピーと待ってろ。
I'll introduce you to him later, Muddy. For now, please wait here with Impy. Lupin turns his back on us and gathers his hat and cloak to leave. What's the matter, Lupin?
ああ、ちょっと偵察に行ってくる。
I'm going to scout the area.
警察？なんでそんな面倒なことを？
You're going scouting? Whatever for?
仕方ねえだろ。このまま外壁に行ったら検問だ。様子を見てくれ。公にするとも思えねえが、お前を探してるかもしれねえしな。
There are teams of inspectors along the wall. I'm going to check them out. It's possible they are looking for Muddy. You can see the wall from here?
覚えておきな。目が良くなきゃ。
Remember this, Muddy. It takes good
目
eyes
が良くなきゃいい泥棒にはなれない。はいはい。
to be a good
なんか言っ
thief.
たかな。
How many times have you trotted that old chestnut
気を
out?
つけなよ。ルパンは相当な説教好きだから。
Keep an eye on Lupin, Miss Muddy. He'll lecture you to death if you let him.
説教はお前がバカばっかするからだろうが。とにかく行ってくる。
That's because
時
you
間程度で戻ると思うが、一応周りには気をつけろよ。
That's because you refuse to stop being stupid. I'll be back in an hour or so, so just stay alert and be careful.
えい。
Gotcha. See you later. Lupin waves to us and leaves. Oh, Jesus.
やっと二人きりになれたね。
Alone at last, Miss Muddy. I nod, watching Lupin's receding back getting smaller in the distance. For some reason, I suddenly feel lonely.
どうだい？俺とロンドン万博で展示された新型スクリュープロペラ用蒸気機関について
Why don't we discuss something interesting, like the newest model steam engines that were on display at the London World Expo? It achieved 700 horsepower using, using 4 52-inch cylinders. Isn't that incredible? The design is also light and compact. Science is so beautiful, right? Oh. Impy suddenly reaches out as if to stroke my cheek with his hand. I flinch back. If you touch my skin, you'll melt. That's besides the point. You shouldn't reach out and touch people anyway. Without their permission. That's right. You're so beautiful, I forgot. It's true what they say. All the greatest roses have the sharpest thorns. Impy, there's something I'd like you to tell me. What kind of person is Lupin? Why would you trust his judgment of Lupin? You want to know about Lupin? What about me? Why don't I tell you about my hobbies? Oh my god. I don't understand. Lupin saved me. I don't know why. That's what I'd like to know. I'm impressed that you could blow me off so casually.
Nice, cool beauty.
That's great, buddy. I can get into the frigid beauty thing. Hey, I'm kidding. I'll tell you. Those cold eyes of yours make me want to cry. Stop looking at me like that. Lupin didn't say anything? I suppose he didn't want to confuse you by telling you everything all at once. Alright, as a gift to commemorate our new friendship, allow me to enlighten you. That man is more or less a hero. Is that so? Yeah, he's too embarrassed to admit it himself. Isaac created a special task force known as Twilight. Someone else runs it now. You were... You were captured by a British Army squad, but it was supposed to have been soldiers from Twilight on that mission. But the plans got changed somewhere, and those guys came instead. That's good for us, because Twilight has the elite forces. If he'd had to rescue you from a Twilight squad, he may have been in some real danger. We got lucky, that's all. According to Lupin, Twilight is planning some kind of massive terrorist act. And the first... Alright. And the first step in executing that plan is getting their hands on that gem in your chest. The horologium, isn't it? This stone? Why she looks so surprised? This thing's a big deal. I raise my hands to my chest protectively. It's all just hearsay, but once Lupin heard about that, he decided to do whatever he can to stop it. That's why he's looking for Isaac, the man behind their whole operation, and why he saved you. See? Isn't that heroic? Even for a thief. I see. Lupin himself said that he saved me because he was a thief with a heart of justice. Just knowing all this makes me very happy. So, Lupin's not a bad man.
おいおい、俺を悪人だと思ってたのか？
Hey now, did you think I was evil? I turn, startled to see Lupin behind me.
その様子じゃ全部話しちまったみてえだな。
Sounds like you've told her everything.
そういうわけだ。
Well, that's the long and short of it.
お前をさらう指示を出したのは大方政府の権力者の一人だろう。
It was probably someone with power in the government who gave the order to abduct you.
もちろん政府が相手だろうが、お前を手渡すつもりは全くないけどな。
Of course, government official or not,
悪いな。
I have no intention of giving you up. I'm sorry to involve you in this, I truly am. I shake my head at Lupin's words. I can't find the right words to say it, but meeting you, I think it was a good thing.
そうか。そりゃよかった。
I see. That's good.
俺も一応いることを忘れないでね。
I'm sitting right here. Oh, and Lupin?
おう、また無視ですか。
Again with the ignoring me. I want to know about my father too. There's so much I need to ask him. Why was I left alone in that mansion? Why I have no memories? If he can't make this poison go away, why did he make me? The monster. I need to ask him face to face.
なら、俺とお前の目的は一致してる。
That startled me.
改めて、これからよろしく頼むぜ。
Then our goals align. Let's make our partnership official. Lupin holds out his right hand. The second handshake. I shake his hand without hesitation.
俺もよろしく。
Partners, right? Put her there, Miss Muddy. Impy firmly grasps my other hand. His smile is the brightest I've ever seen.
で、話は変わるんだが、検問の様子を見てくれ。まあ、こいつを見てくれ。
Back to business. I scouted out the checkpoint. Take a look at this. Alright, Lupin pulls some papers from his jacket. Wanted, crimes against the state. Victor Frankenstein?
どれどれ。ウェストリバー工場爆破。
Ooh.
12人を殺害した凶悪犯。
Let me see. Vicious terrorists wanted for the bombing of the West River factory, killing 12. Damn. Alright, guys. Well, it's looking like a good place to take a break here. But this is getting really interesting so far. Thanks so much for joining me. And we'll see you real soon here in a little bit. Take it easy, and have a good one.